Good morning, everyone. It is Lori from Spirit Within Us, and welcome to my channel. If you like my channel and want to receive all my videos, press the subscribe button and then the bell that's beside it. If you have any comments, questions, let me know. I think you're allowed to post a question or comment. Greatly appreciated. You are greatly appreciated. And my message is always to live your life with passion. That's what I'm here for, to help people to release the blocks that keep us locked in the past. And so every morning we wake up and we say, what is my greatest ideal of myself today? Set that as your intention and move on forward. We're here to learn lessons, to love life, to love ourselves, to learn, always to learn and grow. And it has, if anything's blocking us, it doesn't allow us from being our true and full self. And so find your morning routine, do that morning routine, which I'm going to admit right now that I didn't do my prayer. I apologize. I'm apologizing to myself. I will do it afterwards. Just because the day you know what, I had said before that I was really busy this week, and I am, but I've also have a helper now. So that makes me very happy. So I am going to begin the reading today. I have to say, first and foremost, today is about love, self-love, because the color that comes out so much is green. Kind of a fun thing about me is that this outfit I'm wearing, to me is really fun. It reminds me of The Sound of Music, and when not the stepmom, she wasn't, Julie Andrews, when she made the kids' clothing out of the curtains, that's what this reminds me of. And it kind of makes me laugh because I always think my sister would look at me and just shake her head and go, what are you wearing? And you know what? It doesn't matter to me. It makes me laugh. That brings me joy because it's just fun. It's fun for me, and fun for me is good for me. Okay, so I'm going to start with a couple of cards that out of my deck that I created, so that just a general message. And so the first card that came out is the Spirit of Fire. And that Spirit of Fire, this is somebody that is, you may seem like there's so much chaos going around, but the reminder is that you hold the control. You have the control of what you want to do, where you want to go, who you want to be, what to accept. You have the control. And that so often we give the control up to somebody else, to our work. And yes, you may have to be there all the time, but you still have control of other areas that you can. And even at work, controlling. So this is about being in control of your life. That's what she's a reminder of. And the lesson within this is the card of vibrancy. And so that's why I start the day like I do, to create that sense within myself, knowing that it's the vibrancy, it's my aura, what I want to attract, what I want to manifest, that all comes from within our chakras. And so really cleanse these out, clear these out, making sure that you're getting rid of things thoughts, ideas, all this kind of crap that really doesn't matter, that doesn't reflect who you are. It doesn't reflect who you want to be or where you're going. So make peace with the past. Make peace with all of your decisions, knowing that every single one of your decision is made and was made from a place of where you were at that exact moment in time. Okay? So the card that came out is the shadow side. And the shadow side of ourself is the side that we often keep hidden. And so the card that comes out is the wisdom of the crow. And so sometimes it's how people see us, or how we project what we're not aware of. And with the wisdom of the crow being on that side, you really have to dig deep, and you have to understand that you can get through anything. There's always a way. So if, you know, you're feeling stuck, you're feeling maybe you can't get everything done in one day, well, that's what this card is here for. It's really saying that you can, it's like a shapeshifter. And you can, if you can envision it, you can do it, you can be it. And it is about staying within ethical behaviors. Know what's right for you, know what's ethical for you, know what's morally correct for you, and don't jump outside of that. Those are the things that we really need to keep close. And it also reminds us that once we release the fear, working through situations is so much easier. I just wrote on a post today in regards to fear and understanding the difference. And I know I talk about it all the time, but it's really important to me, and it's such a great message for everybody's understanding that intuition as opposed to that gut feeling that is often based on fear. Okay? It's just such a passion of mine to make people aware of that. Our fear is based on our past, and we want to always be present. So it's coming back to the present moment. It's healing, always with love and blessings and light, and, you know, giving back what you don't own. Own what you've done 100%, and start living your life with zero limits. Really, there just was without that fear. Take that chance. In my head, what I just saw was like jumping, and just like, and I'm not telling anybody to jump off a cliff, but it's knowing that when you're jumping, you're making that decision, do so without fear, knowing that you are going to land, and however you're going to land is where you're supposed to be, and then you get to make a new decision. So always working without fear, knowing that there's always a way. That's the gift of the crow. So that's on this side. So it may be fear stopping you because you're not trusting the fact that if there's a will, there's a way. There's a way to do it. And the other card, and it's the wisdom of the that little sheep. Looks like a lamb, baby lamb. And that's on the other side. That's the reveal side. So that's the side that you're showing. So today, show your gentleness, show that side of yourself that is so caring, that is loving, that is innocent. And it's also about self-acceptance and the difference between being alone and being lonely. And that's another thing that we really need to understand. We can choose to be alone because we need that time. Feeling lonely often will say you need to reach out, that you've put yourself in that place. But being in the position of the reveal side means you need to take some time to set yourself apart. And so, interesting, when I'm wearing this silly outfit, it's not silly, it's actually quite cute. But when I'm wearing this outfit, it's doing so with love and with pride. And it's with a childlike quality. I do have that childlike quality about me. I do. And it doesn't mean that I am any less wise or any less anything than anybody else. It just means I can remember that joy that's within myself, and I can live within that joy. I love to have fun. I remember when the kids were really young, and we'd go to this big park, and it had this huge hill, and I would roll down the hill with those kids because it was fun. It was really, really fun. So don't forget today to have some fun. Hook up with some kids, run through a sprinkler if it's hot, and just really remember that childlike person within yourself. If there's fear attached to that, then give that child self what it needs. Hold that self, laugh with that self, just really enjoy that part of yourself, okay? So that's the general message that comes from today's cards. So we go now to, I have 3 piles that I've picked, and it's the purple heart. I love hearts, by the way. That's my thing, hearts. The second one is the blue heart. And the third one is the, can't really see if that's a heart, but it is. It's actually a stone that was given to me by a friend from the mine. And I love it. It reminds me of an angel and a heart. And it's crystal quartz. Does that make sense? I don't know. Anyways, it's beautiful. And so you have one of 3 choices. So pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3. And so we will start with pile number 1, and just give me a second to move these out of the way, and all of them, and then begin. So pile number 1, which is the purple heart. Okay, it's got a little bit of blue in it. Oh, and green, of course. Green is the color today of love. It's just the color that we need to bring forth what we desire in our life. And so the first card that comes up, and this is the first card, it represents what we're resisting, and it's the 4 of discs. And the 4 of discs is the card of stability. So for pile number 1, it's to step back. If you feel on shaky ground, you kind of want to, sometimes people want to push through that, when really what you need to do is sit down, sit back, go within, breathe, meditate. Everyone knows that I'm a huge meditator, hypnotherapist. I love meditation because all the answers we have are within us. So being in a position of what we're suppressing, saying you need to take that time. So pile number 1, you need to take that time. Embrace that time of just going within. Trust yourself. That's what this is saying. You're not trusting yourself to be quiet enough to listen to the messages, okay? So that first card is what you are resisting. And the next card that comes up is the 6 of discs. And what that's saying, it's a card of generosity. The 6 of discs is the 6 of Pentacles. And so this is about, if you sit back and look at what you need to do, where you need to go. Maybe you've been holding back on a lot of things. And maybe this is about love. Maybe this is about money. Being discs, you think it has to do with money, and money is very slow moving. But see, when you're in that space of looking back or looking into yourself, see the times where you really have been generous. And embrace that side of yourself, because you really are generous, but you don't see it that way, so you have to look at that way. And maybe, therefore, you need to become more generous. Like, ask yourself, how can I be more generous? How can I help out during this pandemic? I don't know if it's all through the world, but here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, we have this, I think it's called Wine Ninja, and you sign up to this page, and people are going and they're bringing joy to others by dropping off these packages of wine and beer and treats for the kids. And some people are doing like 5 and 10 of them. It's like, holy man. And they're doing it because their heart, it makes them happy. Okay, so realize that while being generous, while giving to others, makes them happy. It makes you happy. So see that. So if you're in a place that is not happy, go within yourself and ask yourself what it is that you can do to make yourself happy. Okay. And maybe that's, figuring something out. Again, I talk a lot about my friend that's the artist, and she's always giving away her art and her art tips and showing people, because she wants to share that joy within herself that art brings to her. Okay. And so, wow. The card of The meditation card itself is the card of the source. So being the card of source, that source energy, to me, and that's just my belief, my perspective, I see the sun as source. The sun is God. I mean, no, source is God. But for some reason, I connect that with the sun. Don't ask me why, and it doesn't really matter. Whatever it is to you, it is to you. Just certain things have happened in my life, and it's always when I've taken that time. And perhaps that's because that's when I set my intentions, is when I get really quiet. And I love being outside when I'm doing that. So this is about you connecting with source, realizing that connection is for you and it's attainable, and you need to connect with source. We really do connect with that energy, because that energy is pure love. Okay, so and the message is that, wow, we need to hear from that. And the first one is that when I cultivate a spiritual connection, I trust the universe no matter what. And there's the card, and it's green. The two cards are green, like really. Okay, so know that when you're connecting with source, that you need to believe. You really need to believe. You need to cultivate that connection, and you need to trust. So as you begin to cultivate, you begin to see where spirit brings you, and the universe brings to you, when it comes from a place of love. It's so important. Interesting, on the other side is that I release time and let the universe show me what to do. And so connect, ask, and then release it. And don't push through it and say, why isn't this coming? Why isn't this coming? Because somebody's not ready, or something's not ready. And it comes in divine time when we're ready. And you know what? I may have thought that I was ready a year ago. I see now this journey that I've taken through this whole pandemic, which has been absolutely insane. And I see now that now I'm ready, but I wasn't ready then. And I didn't realize it. So we may not realize that we aren't ready. And so release it. Time isn't of the essence. Time is just time. Okay? And when you're ready, when both sides, both parties, both people, both whatever you're wanting to manifest, when that's ready, the universe will show you what to do. Okay, so the cards in regards to individual, the first card represents the body, and this card comes up so much. Uniquely myself, and again, this is a good card for me today. And I trust that who I am is perfect for my unique journey and my soul path. And so that's really, because this is in this position of our body, it's looking at your body and loving your body, your vessel, what you came down here to jump into, to, take you along your route, and just be who you are. So really embrace the fact that you're unique, that you're different, your unique qualities. And then sometimes you don't fit in with some people. That's okay. Surprisingly, when you own who you are, when you see how unique you are, you fit in with more people because you're being honest and real with yourself. And so that's the card of, wow. And the card that clarifies that is the card of pleasure. And so going back to the wisdom of the sheep, do something for fun today, just for fun. Pleasure is one of life's essential nutrients. So do something for fun today. Do for your body, for yourself. Like me, I put on this outfit because it's fun for me, and it brings up this whole joyful vibration. That's what I want to present out there, okay? The next card is in the position of your mind, and this is a perfect card for your mind, and it's the card of wisdom. And The wise know to let go of the need to control. Control the circumstances, control what other people think, control all of these different things. Just let go of the need to control and trust in the wisdom of a divine plan. So we talked about that before, releasing and allowing the universe, but that's going from knowledge to wisdom. Knowledge is what we learn, we read through books. Wisdom is experience and understanding. And then when we become wise, we begin to trust in the wisdom of a divine plan. Okay, so that's our mind. The next is our heart. Wow. Okay, so this is the card of independence. And this is a change. And this is really understanding. You're coming to a new place of understanding that you get to decide for yourself, that you get to exercise your right to choose. Nobody else gets to choose for you. Your decisions come from your heart space, and that's always connected to the divine. But choose from the heart, knowing that you have that right to do so, okay? So nobody else has that right to put upon you. Recognize your independence, and that somebody else may not like your choice, may not agree. They may not choose the same choice, but if we all chose the same choices, life would not be very fun. So see that, recognize it, and choose from the heart. Decide for yourself. Exercise that right that you get to choose from your heart. Okay, so the soul's journey, wow, at this time. And so it's the first two cards. The first card is the Five of Cups. And the Five of Cups recognizes the courage. Five is about courage, and cups are about love. And so what's so important in this card, I see this card as somebody that has lost something or somebody. Typically it's the loss of a loved one, and that we often haven't accepted it. And so with it could be of a relationship, it could be but it has to do with the heart. And so this is about not chasing that and allowing ourselves to be free again, having the courage to be free again, and finding that life within ourselves, and knowing that there's more to come. There's a cup that will be offered, but we have to let go of the past in order to accept. When we're hanging on to the past, then we look for the same within the past. This is letting go and following your heart, letting go, and realizing that spirit, that our past loved ones, that, you know, they're always, always with us. And the card that clarifies this is the Challenger. And so perhaps you're in a situation or an experience that you're really being challenged. And the biggest challenge of this experience, this place that you're in, is an opportunity rather than a challenge. You're being challenged to trust in divine guidance, to trust in yourself, to trust in your decisions. So the period that you're going through right now, today, is about trusting. So you are being challenged to see whether or not you can let go and trust in all that's meant to be, all that, you know, knowing that you deserve what is ahead, knowing that you've earned it, and knowing that you love yourself enough to work through this period, this situation. So for pile number 2, which is the blue heart, put that up there. And wow, the first card is the card of the Princess of Swords. and the Princess of Swords. So the first two cards represent what you're suppressing. And what you're suppressing is a creativity. And it's like the block right now for you is that you're not being creative enough in finding that way. When we were talking about the wisdom of the crow, there's always a way. And so you're being asked to see from a different perspective, and to be creative, see different colors, like step outside of that box that perhaps that you have, built around yourself, and surround yourself with the brilliant colors, like different colors of the rainbow, and create something to move you forward. Okay, it's about stepping outside of the box to become really creative. The second card within this, so this is a major arcana card, and so you really are seeing things in the wrong way. Again, this is the rainbow that I'm seeing so much, and it's the card of the Hanged Man. And so step back in order to see with more clarity, to finding the way, to knowing, using your intuition. The Hanged Man really is a psychic card. So it's finding that gift within yourself that knows, that just knows. But you're stopping yourself from doing that, and it's seeing all colors of the rainbow, all different perspectives, to be creative, to be as creative as possible to move you forward. So that's what you're resisting, that you get to make those choices, and only you get to make those choices. They're yours to make. Okay, the card in position of the card that's in position of the meditation is, the card of sharing. And so we've talked a lot about this in the last reading, pile number 1. It's about sharing, it's about generosity, and it's about stepping back, sitting, getting comfortable with yourself. Maybe you think you don't have enough. Maybe you think that you have nothing to share. And so in meditation, when you step back, when you go within yourself, realize how much that you do have to share. And there's something that you can share with others. And so give that, make something, do whatever you need to do. There's lots of different ways of sharing. And so think about it, and then it's going to be like oh my gosh, I can share this, and give that as a gift to others. Okay, share your gift with others. Maybe start a YouTube channel of how to create something, or how to build something, or how to whatever, but share your gift with others. So through meditation, you have to be able to see within yourself, get really creative, because you're up until this point, you have been resisting that. And so you're being asked to stop and to, look within and see the gifts that are within you to share. And so the next 3 cards are the cards, I forgot, sorry. The cards of the yin and the yang, of what balances one another. And the first card is, the Princess of Cups, being balanced by the Queen of Discs. So the Princess of Cups is about dreaming, it's about seeing, it's about being creative from the heart. So I almost have a feeling within this group, this is about work, and it's about bringing in money, and it's about self-enlightenment in your creativity and how to bring forth more money into your life, into your world. Because with the Queen of Discs, that's what she's about. She is about, calming those waters and finding that place and being sitting in abundance. And so being able to see that with sharing your gifts can bring forward that abundance that you're looking for. So when you're doing from the heart, so the balance is doing from the heart, sharing your gifts will bring forth abundance. And the two cards that clarify the Princess of Cups is, when I truly surrender my desires to the universe, a mighty force of faith can set in. So, being the dreamer. And so when you surrender to the universe, you'll know that with faith, that the universe will deliver. And so this is a mighty force of faith. So start dreaming, knowing that you can have all that you want, all that you desire. And so on the side of what balancing a bit of the Queen of Discs is, because discs are slow moving, because it's related to the earth, it's I am patient, knowing that whatever is of the highest good is coming to me. And this shows, wow, there's a lot to see within this card, but this is growth within. It shows a woman that's pregnant. Never seen that before, but showing the woman that's pregnant and knowing that it's pregnant with ideas, and understanding that Spirit is there to assist, to help you move through and to open up and be willing to receive. So that's, if you're thinking you're not worthy of receiving, that's the other side of sharing. We have to do both. You have to give and you have to receive. Lots of people just want to give, but you also have to be open to receiving. Okay, so wow. The card of surrender is so big, so important at this point, and it's really surrendering yourself to a higher force. It's, wow, okay, surrendering. I honor the truth in surrender as it opens me up to the gifts of divine grace. So this is about knowing yourself, knowing that you are worthy and you are deserving. So that's why this Princess of Cups came up, going from the princess to the queen and it's really surrendering to your heart, surrendering, knowing that you will, that the universe has got your back. Okay, now in the cards in relation to what your body needs at this time, and the card is cleaning out the clutter. It's clearing, and you need to clear out. And this is within your body. Maybe you need to do a cleansing of your body and start getting rid of crap that's not good for you. You know, this time a lot of people may be eating a lot of chips, a lot of junk, a lot of that stuff. Get rid of it. Just get rid of it. I myself haven't, which is kind of strange, but I haven't wanted to. So I've really, set this intention of just getting rid of it, because I know once you start, or for me, once I start, I can't stop. So this is about getting rid of the clutter, the crap that's within your body. And what we eat does affect ourselves. So clear out the clutter. When in doubt, throw it out. Do a cleanse. It could just be a daily cleanse, but just cleanse your body. The second card is in regards to your mind. And it's, God, this is about generosity again. This is about asking for help. And this is knowing that you can ask for help And it doesn't mean that you're weak, and it doesn't mean all the things that you may have, set in your mind. Ask for help, knowing also that receiving is an act of generosity. Okay, so we ask for it and then receive it. Be open to receiving that generosity. And it's, it could be with a problem. So, you have to open up to that and perhaps ask for divine goodness, ask for help with whatever you need, whatever is weighing down your mind. That would be weighing down your spirit as well. So you want to open that up and you want to ask for help. And the card in position of your heart is of the card of silence. And so give your heart a break right now. Rest your mind, rest your body, rest your heart. Finding that silence, because silence is a good way to bring self-care to us. So your body, mind, and heart is really asking you to clear out some of the things. When you're clearing out, you're able to open up to bring forward more of what you've wanted, more what you need into your world. Okay, so surrender. Surrender so much. Surrender the need to control, surrender the need that if we ask, we're not, that we aren't worthy, knowing that we can. Very interesting that the final cards, the first is the Dancer of Lies. And so usually this is in regards to either, the lies that, or the illusions that are surrounding you, the lies that you tell yourself, the lies that other people tell, that you know yourself, that when you become silent and quiet, you really know are not true, yet you have chosen to believe it. And so this is the dance that we do with these lies. And once we believe them for long enough, it becomes who we are. So this is about seeing all the lies, all of the illusions that are in front of you, and releasing them, really to bring forward. It's the card of the King of Cups, to bringing forth what you want, to bringing forth more love, strength and love, to be able to, even if the waters are, wavy and there's a lot going on, okay, what I'm hearing also within this is there's somebody that's not being honest with their feelings. Okay, and it could have to do with a loved one, or a relationship. This could be a partner, a husband, a boyfriend, or someone that you want to bring in. But I think that they're living in some sort of illusion, some sort of lies that they're telling themselves, and they may not be willing to come forward until you're ready to clear out. And that's why all this clearing out is happening. And once you clear it out and become honest with yourself, that creates that vibration that can bring forward, and that cup can be offered to you. Okay, so that is pile number 2, which was the blue stone. And so I will get ready for pile number 3. So pile number 3 is the crystal heart. And so let's see what we have here. Okay, so the first card that comes out is this is what we're resisting. And it's the card of the mind. And this card is all about, I'll put it down already. This card is about getting stuck in your head. getting stuck with the thoughts. It's like something happens and your mind just goes and goes and goes and goes and goes and goes. And you just start attaching yourself and making the story bigger and bigger, 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 bigger. So what you're resisting is slowing that mind process down. It may make you feel important or seem important or whatever it's doing for you, all those stories. What it wants you to do is get outside of your head and back into your heart. Okay, like just stop the motion, stop the stories. And usually the stories are based on untruths. So your mind is creating a story that it really doesn't even know. It's just creating it, and it may not be true. So stop the stories. Just say, stop. That story means nothing to me. It's not true. It may be what you believe in yourself or believe that you're worthy of, but it's not true. So get outside of your head, get outside of those stories and just stop it. Just stop and live in the present of the moment, right here, right now, where you're at, where you get to create your own thoughts. Wow. And so the card that clarifies this is a love-based reality. So true. And it's so the card says, I am soul nurtured when I surround myself with friends and family who support a love-based reality. Where you're at right now is a mind-based reality, a mind-based reality of non-truths, of, messages that you're telling yourself, of unworthiness and all this crap that doesn't even mean anything, that's not true. And going back into the heart and living a love-based reality. And that love-based reality can create so much more than these silly thoughts that are in our head, that are in our mind, that, keep rolling and rolling and rolling. We are what we create. So either we create or keep recreating these stories that aren't true, or we live in the presence of now, in the presence of a love-based reality. So stop suppressing that. The card in regards to the yin and the yang. And so the first card is the Three of Discs. And so the Three of Discs really shows people working together. And so seeing that what you may need to do is, this is the mind, body, spirit, but seeing how much more you can accomplish when you ask and you work together. And in two different ways, when you work with your mind, body, spirit, through your heart, through the love-based reality, when you ask for help and, silly stories go through my head. I was thinking of sandbagging. If you're trying to sandbag, and I mean literally sandbagging, when there's one person doing it, but when there's a row of 30 people doing it, it's so much easier. So this is about creating together. So asking for help and where you need it. And it may be help with the stories. Start listening perhaps to other people that are saying that you are, the truths that you are, rather than the falsities of that mind games, and take yourself back into that place of love. And what balances this is the card of the light. So what's going to be revealed is your truth, who you really are. And that is, there's so many beautiful colors, and it's so much about aligning with our higher consciousness of, radiating out that vibrancy, and so much more will be revealed when we jump outside of our mind and we start living from a place of love. That's what and where we want to be. Whoa, wow. So the card in the position of meditation, when you are, going to that place, is a card of Spirit of Wisdom. And the Spirit of Wisdom is going from seeing yourself, of all of that you've learned, all of that you have accomplished. And then learning is one thing from books, but the other part of it is experiencing it. So when you go and you go into meditation, and then you look back at what life has taught you through experiences, it really becomes such an incredible and beautiful journey. So you're going from being, knowledgeable to being wise, okay? And there's such a difference. Knowledge is typically based on, book smarts and reading and going to school, but wisdom is experience. And it's not saying that you don't need both, but what it's saying is that there is a difference. So learn and then experience and do. And the cards that are here to, oh God, I can't remember the word of it, to clarify this. And the first one is, my super attractor power comes from how I feel, my faith and love and joy, my faith and love and the joy that I put out. Okay, so this goes back to the love-based reality. And so when we live in a love-based reality, we project, we put out this beautiful energy that attracts. And so this becomes a super attractor. And so it brings forward experiences that are loving and beautiful and kind and all the things that you want in your life. And the other card, clarifying card, is the card of faith. And I feel my way into faith one step at a time. And so this is a process. That it's the journey that's important. It's the experiences that are important, and it's the celebration of every single solitary step that we take. We need to celebrate that. Okay, so I've learned. I read this in a book, and then I put it into play, and holy crap, I learned more. And that experience you can teach others because you've actually done it. So it's actually easier to teach when you've done something. I am terrible at memorizing. I don't memorize things. And yes, if I got that out of my head, but because I really believe that wisdom comes from within the heart, from within the soul, from within doing. And that to me is so much more important than anything else. And so the card in position of your body, and the card is of courage. And so for yourself, this may be, wanting to take that, step out of your mind and, surrounding yourself with beautiful energy, but you're terrified because you may have made choices that you did not recognize as being aligned with somebody else rather than yourself. And you have the courage to make your own choices. You have the courage to see through experiences. You have the courage. Know that you have the courage to live in that love-based place. And that with doing that, so much in your life will change. Because you're creating this energy. Your body's going to change. Your thoughts are going to change. Your people around you, people that will surround you, will change. So take the leap of faith. Take the leap with courage. Your courage will see you through. So that's those walls, those blocks, let them down. If you've been hurt in the past, that's the past. Start living your truth, your honesty, from a love-based reality. You can do it because that's what's going to bring in. The next card is the card of your mind. It's a card of rejuvenation. And actually it says, get a good night's sleep. Rejuvenate your body, your mind, and your spirit. And so because it's in the position of your mind, and we have the mind down here, is you really do need to take a break from the stories that are roaming around, that are attached in your head. You need to cut them loose. And so just not mine, or not important to you right now, or I can deal with that later. but really it's starting to take responsibility and accountability for your choices and for your mind's well-being. So it's really time to get a good night's sleep, to get some rest, to rejuvenate yourself, and to start living that life aligned with who you are. Most interesting is the card in regards to your heart. So we are, I'm asking you or saying what's blocking you is jumping outside of your mind and, living from a place of love. If you've been hurt, this card is in the position of our heart and what our heart needs to understand and learn. And it's a card of faith. And faith grows when you act without knowing the end result. So you make decisions without having to know. There are so many times that people will, they'll call me and they're like, can you tell me, is this the right one? Can you tell me, am I going to meet somebody? And really I say, I can't tell you anything. I can tell you, lots of things. But if you're going to believe what I tell you, then you're not making the choice. And if I'm wrong, you're going to blame me. And so this is really about you owning. We need to be responsible, 100% responsible for our lives. I can show you where the blocks are. I can show you what you perhaps need to release, where you need to release them. Like right now, it's getting outside of your head. I can show you that, but I can't do the work. And it doesn't mean it's going to happen either until you do the work. Because it's not up to me. I've done the work on myself, and I continue every single day doing the work. I do my meditation, I do my prayers, I do my exercises, I do all these things. I do my Hawaiian prayer because it's so important to me to love myself. It's not up to somebody else to love me. It's up to me to love me. And living with that faith, when I love myself, that opens myself up, knowing that others can love me as well. Okay. And the final card in this regard is the Six of Swords. And the Six of Swords is a victory card. It really is. Six is also the number of love. And so I get that this is about, a lot of this journey is so much about self-love and allowing, to release the blocks and living in that space of self-love and making decisions. And each decision that you make, every single decision that you're making makes you stronger from a place of the heart, because you're making that decision from the heart. So if your heart's been hurt, and many of our hearts, well, I don't think there's anybody that's gone through life that hasn't suffered some sort of heart hurt. But just because it happened in the past doesn't mean it's going to happen in the future or the now. So live in the present, make your decision aligned with your heart, aligned with your solar plexus, aligned with spirit, and living a love-based reality. Okay, so that was pile number 3, and that's what I got for today. I thank you so much for being here and for listening to what I have to say, to sharing my experiences and what I do, helping people to remove their blocks. Any questions, comments, leave them in the section below. Again, please subscribe. Like this video if it helped you out. I also can be reached at spiritwithinus@msn.com for any other personal questions. I do personal readings, and I am sending much love, much joy, much happiness out to everyone, and just live your life with joy, happiness, from a place of love, connected with the divine source. Okay? Namaste, much peace, love, and joy. Lori-Lynn.